Hi everyone, hello, hope you're well. Sorry, I'm just on my phone just to see if this video is sharing properly. Hope you're all well. I think it's working. Welcome to, this Wednesday's Facebook Live. It is how to find the 4 tips to choose the perfect expat location. Sorry, I'm like a zombie. It's my third day back at school. I think everyone's exhausted, so yeah, sorry, I'm half asleep. So today I'm going to give you 4 tips you should consider when choosing your expat location. This is really ideal for people who are teachers, newly qualified teachers who are future expat teachers who are starting to think about going abroad and are really thinking about where should I go. I've heard good things about certain places. I've heard negative things about other places. How can I choose the best expat location for me? Because everyone's different, so everyone has like different priorities. People have different goals. I think it's really important to really think about what is a good expat location for you, because I think a lot of us fall into the habit of we've heard about Dubai and we come to Dubai, which is fine. I mean, I'm here and it's great, it's grand, but there are lots of other locations as well to consider. Not just, I would never just have a plan A. I'd always have a plan B and a C. So if you're watching, let me know where you're watching from. Are you watching from Dubai? Are you watching from Ireland, the UK? Do let me know. Do say hi. And this won't be super long. It's just sort of what I have learned in my, this is my 8th year teaching abroad, what I've sort of learned in terms of tips to choose the right place for me. So number 1, I would say the first factor in choosing an ideal expat location, for me, number 1 is actually the saving potential. That's a really big factor for me. So that's really important to factor in the type of packages that you can get there, also the type of schools, think about the tax rate, and also cost of living. And I actually was even on a website today looking up cost of living, and 2 really good ones are Numio and Expatistan. And you can actually put in the city or the country and get an idea of the rent, the bills, price of petrol, the price of average bag of groceries, and that's really, really helpful. Middle East, in the Gulf, there is no tax on your income. There is VAT in UAE, and there's talks that's going to be brought into, it'll be brought into Qatar soon. I'm not sure about Saudi Arabia, actually. If I'm watching from Saudi, let me know. But I do know when you go look at Asia, there is tax on your income. But depending on where you are, I know like in Malaysia, I think the tax is often, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that it's put into sort of a pension fund that you can withdraw, provided you only spent X amount of days in the country. So you can withdraw that at the end when you leave. It would have been like your pension or retirement, but they give it back to you when you leave. China also has a tax rate as well, so just to be aware of that, okay? But then if you have a lower rate of living, then actually tax doesn't matter if the cost of living is a lot lower. So that's kind of one factor. So definitely one important factor would be the saving potential. Number 2, I would also look at things like crime and safety. I would check up stats to make sure our place is safe. In terms of crime, but for me also something to consider would be things like hurricanes or natural disasters. That for me would be quite a big thing to think about. Might be something you want to look at. The third factor that I would consider would be climate. I am not a fan of winter. I don't think I could ever live anywhere where there's a really harsh, severe winter or a lot of rain, which is probably why I bought a place in Spain. And I hope to move there when I go back to Europe, because Ireland, we tend to get a lot of rainfall. But for me, climate's really important. I know I live in the Gulf. It's quite humid. It's actually more humid in UAE than it is in Qatar, I've found. And I actually don't really like humidity at all. And that's probably a reason why I wouldn't live in Asia. I prefer dry heat. So just to be aware of the climate, particularly if people suffer like with seasonal affective disorder, or if you're living in a place that's quite dark or miserable, or maybe some people love the seasons and they have to live in a place where there's seasons. So again, something to consider. So number 1, think about your saving potential, which sort of encompasses the packages you can get and the cost of living and the tax rate in a country. Number 2, I said about the safety and the crime, and that can also include natural disasters. Like is a turbulent situation? Is there political issues at the moment? But again, I would take that with a pinch of salt. Do your research, because sometimes the media does often exaggerate. I see maybe headlines about the region at the moment, and I think on a day-to-day basis I feel perfectly safe, but sometimes the media can blow out of proportion, so always do some research on that. Number 3, we looked at climate. And then number 4, a tip for me, a big factor for me is the ability to travel. So that for me has a few different aspects. First of all, I don't like to be too far away, flight away from Europe. Again, the reason why I probably wouldn't move to Asia, because it'll take me too long, or probably would never live in Australia or New Zealand. It'd take me too long to fly home. I like to be able to close to Europe, fly back within less than 10 hours, for example. But also the location. If you're thinking of a particular country, look at the transport links in terms of airports, in terms of ease, schools near the airport, ease of travel, no restrictions when you're traveling. So for me, that would be really, really important, those factors. And when I'm going to choose an expat location, a bonus factor I'll give you is if you are a teacher traveling, planning to move with a teaching spouse or non-teaching spouse and or children, you will really need to do your research on packages that will support perhaps a spouse, or that will give your children free school places, because as it happens in UAE at the moment, many schools are businesses, and it seems that certain schools are less likely to give you a free place. Some schools prefer to recruit newly qualified teachers with no dependents because they're cheaper. So that's something to consider and bear in mind. From what I've read and seen and heard, Asia still seems to be quite a generous place for teachers who have dependents and are very eager to have teachers with experience and or children. So, a lot of free school places are being provided, and I know it's less and less the case in UAE at the moment. So that's again something to consider. Yeah, thank you if you waited to the end. What I wanted to talk to you about was just to let you know that I do have a book called How to Be an Empowered Expat Teacher, Personally, Professionally and Financially. I don't know where my copy is. I've moved places. I moved into a new place last week, and I still have things in cases and boxes. If you have any questions, and can guarantee that they will be answered in this book. It's got sections about if you're a qualified, not qualified teacher, unqualified teacher, if you're a teacher that has no British or American teaching experience, tips for you there. If you are somebody who wants to work in an IB system or IB experience, again, it goes into more detail about choosing your ideal expat location, impartial information about the pros and cons of applying to job fairs or applying directly using agencies, how to understand different things, like different types of schools abroad, the accreditation systems, and the different curriculum schools and their implications for you. It goes into detail about the private not-for-profit schools and the private for-profit schools, and about moving with dependents, with a spouse, with a non-teaching spouse, and also some tips on grabbing the attention of teachers, head teachers abroad with your CV, cover letter, how to suss out if you're getting a good package, how to prepare well for your move, get your documents attested, if you've got children, how to make transition easier, buying a car, buying a SIM card, how to a little section, how to cope with homesickness, culture shock, and then how to set yourself up at making serious savings, so you can achieve financial independence, like I hope to do in the next few years, and then I can retire and go and live in Spain. But yeah, so also, just a to-do list of things to do. So just so you know, that is available too if you need any more like directed guidance. It's something you can always refer to. And at the moment, I'm doing a special offer for probably until the end of September. If you purchase the book, if you take a screenshot of your receipt from Amazon and send it to email to me at info@circlecoil.com, and just put in the headline, book or something like that, I will send you a link to a masterclass, a type of masterclass, 30-minute masterclass that I did. I think it's on. I released it, and then now it's sort of hidden. But it's about how to make sure that your CV. I'm going to check the name of it. Yeah, how to create a great CV and cover letter. So it's a 30-minute masterclass on that. So that will be yours for free if you purchase the book before the end of this month. So just once you purchase, take a screenshot, email me info@circlecoil.com, and you can put in book or something like that, book in the subject, and I will send you a link to that 30-minute masterclass, and I will put the link to the book on Amazon just down below. Okay, guys, any questions? This software I use makes it hard for me to see questions. I've got like a minute or two. If anyone's got any questions, I'm just going to check here and see. Sorry, I'm just so tired. It's hard to go back in a routine. How's everyone finding it? Just been to the gym as well, and honestly, it just knocks me for 6. I'm probably going to go to bed soon. I'm trying to have an early night. I've got observations and everything, things at the moment. Just finished, doing benchmark tests, so I am like absolutely exhausted. I don't know how people who have like children and other responsibilities, how they do it, because I can barely mind myself. Okay, I think everyone's good. Okay, those of you who are, this is what always happens to me. Go back. I play myself, I can hear myself in the background. If anyone is a future expat teacher and this time maybe doesn't suit you, because I know it's probably -4, it's 5:22 in the UK and Ireland. If you have any questions, put them in the comment section below, but I will put a comment, or I'll put a link to the book as well. But yeah, any questions, you can stick them in. Okay guys, have a lovely evening. And those of you who are in Dubai, there will be an Expat Teacher Breakfast coming up soon, so stay tuned for that. I'll let you know the details in the next few days. It's almost the weekend. All right, bye-bye.